Hey everybody, it's Chase with AV Pop Culture again, and today we are here to talk about 10 movies that I love that everybody kind of considers to be bad movies. So pop that tape in, I got you, let's go do this. All right, so I have 10 films. This is going to be a fun one today because everybody has such different tastes in movies, and that's what makes them so great. And I mean, you can see that. Like, I just did a review of The Witch, my first time watch series that I just started. And man, it runs the gamut. My buddy Brian over at The Last Movie Standing, he saw Alien Romulus this weekend. I still have to go see it so I can get my thoughts, but he saw it and he came away not liking it as much as a lot of people do. And he's caught some heat for that. And there's no reason for that kind of thing. We all like different kinds of stuff. And it's very subjective. The fun part is the discussion, because movies are art, in my opinion. Art is subjective. People see what they want to see in some cases, and a lot of times that doesn't have anything to do with what the writer or director meant for you to see in the movie. But everybody brings their own experiences and history, likes and dislikes and biases and all kinds of things. You bring a lot of you into viewing every single movie, and so you're going to get a different perspective every time you watch it, and it's going to mean something a little different to a lot of different people. So this list of movies here, I'm just going to have some fun with it. These are movies that over the years I've heard people poo-poo talk about are bad, and oh, that movie's horrible. Why do you like that? It's so cheesy. It's corny. It's just a bad film. It's a terrible sequel, a horrible remake, whatever it is. Everybody has a lot of their opinions, and my opinion happens to be that I really, really enjoy them. So I actually own all of these because of that. So bad movie or not, be damned. I like these films, and we're going to get started here. And the first one is a sequel, and it's one of only two sequels in this series of films that I care to watch. And I am talking about Predators. Now this movie, and you might be thinking, oh my God, what is he talking about? Because, I'm a big Arnold Schwarzenegger fan, and, obviously he's in no sequel of any Predator movie. But this is a Robert Rodriguez film, and it stars Adrian Brody, and Adrian Brody was actually really way popular at the point in time when he did this movie. And I friggin' love the concept of this movie. I know some people might be out there thinking, whoa, I never even knew that was considered a bad movie. And that might be a recurring theme through here. But like, if you this is just me over the years and my experience and reading stuff online and talking to people. The popular opinion is that maybe these movies aren't as good. My opinion is that I actually super enjoy this movie. The concept is, of course, a Predator sequel. And the concept, these people like wake up free falling in air. They discover it's like a motley crew of people who don't know each other. They basically wake up falling and they land on this. It's like they're out in the jungle, the woods. They find out that they are in a whole other world. They're on a whole other planet. And they've actually are all warriors of some kind. They are some kind of fighter, special forces, Mexican cartel, anything like that. Japanese Yakuza. They're from different walks of life, and one just turns out to be a serial killer, which is a nice, cool twist in there. And they're abducted by the Predators and brought to their planet and dropped out there basically for hunting practice. And it is, and of course they have to start to try to work together a little bit to survive. They don't trust each other. These predators are big, huge. They encounter other things out there. And of course, there's the whole question of, well, if we survive, do we get home? How do we get home? All that stuff. Adrian Brody, an unlikely action star in this, but very good. There's some super fight scenes in this. Just some cool, like, stand down the bad guy moment, the charge down the guns type thing, and the hell of a twist with the serial killer from the guy you least suspect. This is a damn good movie. I enjoy it, and I'm not ashamed to say it. So Predators makes my list here. This next one, I'm sure a lot of you have heard, is a bad movie. It's a Disney. Disney did this movie, and I'm talking about John Carter of Mars. And that was actually the full name that they then later shortened to John Carter. I got this old lenticular cover. And this stars Taylor Kitsch, who played Riggins in Friday Night Lights TV show. I actually really do like that show a whole lot, and he's like one of my favorite characters in the show. And I like this movie. This movie has like all of this like sort of almost ancient aliens theory mixed in, history. It starts out in sort of like the old West kind of, or after the Civil War. It's got time travel. It's got space travel. I really hate, like, yeah, it maybe has some like not as great CGI or something, but I mean, its CGI was great for when it was. I like this movie. I don't like, if you like Star Wars and you like Dune and you like different stuff, I'm not sure what there is to dislike about this movie so much. But it is, I just have a lot of fun with it. And I love the mystery and like sort of some of the history and science that they weave in there. I don't know. I have a lot of fun with this movie every single time I watch it. And John Carter is on my list. I really wish that Disney would sell this over and they would bring Kitsch back and do a sequel and kind of like do it even better. Or even remake it with someone else, because I really just like the concept and I enjoy this movie. The next one on my list, some people consider this one an absolute masterpiece. Me growing up, I considered it a masterpiece, but with the recent release of the When Titans Ruled the Earth that just came out, it just got in the mail from Arrow, it got me thinking about Clash of the Titans, the original. I grew up on this movie. Medusa was straight up scary as hell when I was a kid in this movie. And I really wish we got this on a 4K. I wish it was in this set. I really wish it was included in this set as a 4K. That would have been ultimate. I would have paid them another $30 for it. I mean, for sure. Like, I just think it's awesome. But I've heard so many people, oh, it's cheesy in the effects, and how can you even watch that? Look how cheesy those effects look, all this kind of stuff. It's campy dialogue and everything. Like, guys, it's called Clash of the Titans. But I love this movie. And you can say what you want to about the acting. You can say what you want to about Harry Hamlin in this, but I love it. You guys know I've talked about teaching film before, and I taught history. And my emphasis in my history degree is classical studies, ancient Greece and Rome. I actually taught like Greek mythology and stuff like that. So this stuff is super cool to me. And I mean, it made an impression to me as a kid, and I love it. I love Clash of the Titans. I don't care if people consider it cheesy or corny or what. I love this movie. Now, another one is this next one, man. This is one I didn't even realize people ever thought was a bad movie or a cheesy movie until recently, when I started watching, like more physical media channels and things like that. Like, I just always thought this was an 80s Stallone classic with the Kenny Loggins soundtrack, the Meet Me Halfway Across the Sky. I'm talking about over the top Lincoln Hawks, man. I did not this is me not even realizing that people considered this a bad or cheesy movie. This is like what I love this movie. Over the top. I mean, yeah, it's arm wrestling or whatever, but like it's quintessential 80s with that Kenny Loggins soundtrack. Sylvester Stallone playing, the salt to the earth, working class dad making his way. And I mean, like I even have always had a joke running on my where I cover theme parks and stuff. Like this movie is so ingrained in me. The whole story where he talks about turning the switch on when he switches his cap around. And I would say I got to engage Lincoln Hawks mode.
I just try to take my hat and I turn it around. It's like a switch that goes on.
Just like that. It's like now shit got serious. I absolutely love this movie. Stallone kills it in this for me. Great father-son thing. And now being a father myself, I enjoy the movie even more. I didn't realize people considered it so cheesy or a bad film or like one of those so bad it's cute films. I just thought it was a damn good 80s Stallone movie, and I still do. All right, the next one up on the list, might as well go to the next icon. And I am talking about End of Days with Arnold Schwarzenegger. This was the first movie that he did after he had his first major heart surgery, and he had to come back. So like this was 1999 when all of those like end of the world movies were coming out, like 98, 99 disaster movies, end of the world movies. And this one is no different. The world was going to end in 1999. And on New Year's of 1999, New Year's Eve. And Arnold Schwarzenegger literally faces off with the devil. And like it's got some seriously creepy, scary, dark moments in it. And this is another one. Like, I mean, I thought this was kick ass. I was like, man, I got Arnold doing horror. I was like, hell yeah, Arnold doing horror. That's like both things, cause peanut butter and chocolate going together to me. I didn't realize that people thought this was a bad movie, to be honest with you. Like, cause when I get into a movie and I really like it, normally I don't pay attention or listen. And I mean, nobody's going to change my mind anyway, but, it was like, wow, the popular opinion is that movie's not good. Like, I really like that movie. It's Arnold. It's horror. Arnold facing off with the devil. Like, what bigger challenge for him than to whoop the devil's ass? And I just enjoy the movie. And so if you don't like End of Days, that's cool, but I do. So it's on my list. All right, I had to take a little break and collect myself because I know this next one is going to set the internet ablaze. I'm just going to say it. X-Men Origins Wolverine. I enjoy this movie. I hate what they did with Deadpool in this movie, so I'm so glad that was fixed. But if nothing else, if absolutely nothing else, the opening sequence of this movie where it shows them going through to him and Sabretooth, played by Liev Schreiber in this, going through time, like from when they're kids, and then they're fighting in like the Revolutionary War or whatever it is, and then they're fighting in the Civil War, and then they're fighting in World War I, World War II, Vietnam. Like it goes through all that, like the way that the opening sequence, the opening credits of this movie, even if you don't like the rest of the movie, you have to admit that the opening sequence of this movie is badass. And other than the Deadpool stuff, I like this movie. I like where you see him get the adamantium put on him. That's a cool scene. There is a lot of stuff in this movie, and I actually like, again, here's my man Taylor Kitsch again. He plays Gambit in this, and I think he plays a better Gambit than Channing Tatum. Like, I feel like he plays, now, they don't have the right costume, if you want to go, like, costume correct. Channing Tatum's in Deadpool is better, but I actually believe Taylor Kitsch more as a character and I know people are gonna be like, "What? I'm turning this shit off," but I do. And I mean, he's Remy LeBeau and Channing Tatum, like, and I know he's like from Louisiana or whatever, but man, I swear it's like he's trying too hard with that accent. And but I mean, maybe Taylor Kitsch isn't trying hard enough, but I just felt there was more realism there, and I liked him as the character. I wish they had. I don't know. It's like, could I combine those two characters somehow? But I actually have fun with this movie. Like I said, the opening sequence, badass. Seeing him get the animatium put on his skeleton, badass. There are a lot of badass moments. I actually think Liev Schreiber is really good. And that's no knock on my man Tyler Mane, my buddy who's in my movies, who played the original Sabretooth. But I actually really think Liev Schreiber is good as Sabretooth, an interesting take on him and his fingernail. Like, I actually really like it. And I mean, it's fun. I hate what they did with Deadpool. Thank you that they fixed all that stuff. But the rest of it is fun. Go ahead and catch your breath or turn it off or whatever. I know. All right. Now, this next one is one that when we were making movies, when we were making Creature Feature, we started, like, me and my friend Edward and Lance and Chance, who I've mentioned here before, we started realizing that whenever we didn't watch this movie, watching this movie to relax kind of became our thing. And whenever we didn't watch this movie, we would have horrible luck on set for whatever reason. So we ended up watching this movie every day for 18 out of 21 days of filming. And I am talking about Hot Tub Time Machine. I mean, it is, listen, I am an 80s kid. I love 80s everything. If I could get in a hot tub and go back to the 80s, I'd be seeing y'all after a while, because I would go. And I just think it's a fun movie. You got Chevy Chase. You got Billy Zabka shows up in this. There's so much like iconic, like little Easter egg shout outs to 80s stuff. And I just think it's fun, man. It's a fun movie. It's ridiculous. And I mean, I love when Hot Tub Time Machine, they get in the Hot Tub Time Machine and they look at each other, you know, and they say Hot Tub Time Machine and look in the camera. Like, we whispered to each other all the time. Me and Chance, me and Lance, Edward, we'll all still do it. Great White Buffalo. Great White Buffalo. Or, you wrote Cincinnati on it. Like, 100%. And they never explain the Cincinnati thing. Like, that shit is admissible, man. Like, I love it. I love all that. I love the inside jokes. I love I love going back to the 80s. He looks around. He's like, where's the beef? This smoking, like, Jerry Curl, all this kind. And, you know, he flips out. He realizes they're in the 80s. I love it. I have a lot of fun with Hot Tub Time Machine. I know a lot of people consider it horrible and stupid comedy. Maybe that's why I like it. Oh, man, my stack is sliding all over here. Okay, I got just a couple more for you. And this next one, I got kind of a bonus at the end. So there's 11, sort of, because it's one that I've talked about before, and it's going to lead me to something else. But this next one is a Ridley Scott film. And I really like this. This is Kingdom of Heaven. And this is another one, because, like, this was, like, back in the day when it was 2 thumbs up, Siskel and Ebert and all that. Maybe a lot of people don't consider this bad, but man, I've read horrible reviews on this movie. And being a history guy, I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of historical accuracies in this, like, of things that happened where they where Christians and Muslims stuff were fighting over Jerusalem and the Holy Land. I mean, that's what the Crusades went on for like, was it 500, 600 years? Crusades went on a long time. And basically it got passed back and forth, taken, retaken. And this follows Orlando Bloom's character when he is supposed to be fighting. He's like a young knight, and he comes in. in. He didn't even know he was a knight to start with. Liam Neeson plays his father, and he knights him. You've got Jeremy Irons in this, and he ends up being in a situation where he has to defend the Holy Land from Sahaladin. Sahaladin, I can't say it right. And the Islamic army and stuff like that. So it's like a good, like, medieval type movie. I don't understand quite all the hate for it. I mean, Orlando Bloom is maybe a little wooden in some of it, but overall, like, I recommend this movie to people. I enjoy it. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Is there any fans out here of Kingdom of Heaven? I really like the movie, and I really like. If this is on 4K, I need to look up and see if this is on 4K. You guys let me know in the comments, but I'm gonna check when it gets out of here, because I think this is one that would be sweeping and beautiful and awesome in 4K. Kingdom of Heaven on my list here. The next one, we're going to go back to, like, we're spending a lot of time, I'm noticing, in medieval and ancient Greek mythology and history and stuff like that. So we might as well go one more time and talk about Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. Now, they actually made two of these movies. They I can't remember the title of the second one. I have it over there. I don't think it's as good as this one. But I actually like this movie, and they did a series, and I tried to watch a few minutes, and I couldn't get through the series at all. But this, he's like the son of Poseidon. Percy Jackson is the son of Poseidon, so he's like a demigod because he's half god, half human. And Pierce Brosnan is in this, and he's like a centaur. But he can disguise that with magic, and then he meets a friend who's supposed to be looking after him, and he's a satyr, so he's half goat, and all of that kind of stuff. And so it really brings in, it's got Alexandra Daddario in it, who's beautiful and a good actress. She does fun. She's good in pretty much everything I've seen her in. And they have to basically go on this quest, and it's kind of like an Odyssey, like the Odyssey. And because they come across a lot of tips of the cap to that stuff. They see the Parthenon, but it's the replica Parthenon in Tennessee. They go to Las Vegas, and they go into a casino, and it's the Den of the Lotus Eaters, which you encounter in Greek mythology. And time can pass way differently in there. You could be in there for hundreds of years, and it feel like hours. So all that kind of stuff, that deep kind of cool thinking, all that kind of stuff, totally my jam. A lot of people kind of like pooed on these. They said it wasn't good. Like, it wasn't as good as the books. To be honest with you, I've never read the books. Maybe I should check out the books. I've got some Audible credits. I should go and pull them up. But I like this movie. And I kind of wish they'd have continued the series with this cast and finish it off instead of doing the TV show that I couldn't get into. But whether you consider it a bad movie or not, I consider Percy Jackson and the Olympians to be a lot of fun. All right, one more here, and this is one that I am waiting on a 4K on. Actually, these last two have 4Ks coming. They have 4Ks coming. One's from Screen Factory, Shout Factory. One is from Arrow. And this one that I'm talking about is the 2005, I think it is now, man. Holy crap, I can't believe that's been 20 years ago. I'm talking about the Amityville Horror remake with Ryan Reynolds. Here's Ryan Reynolds again, making a second stop on my list. I couldn't wait to order this when Scream Factory put it out. Like, I really like this movie. I'm a big Amityville Horror fan. One day maybe I'll do a vlog and go show you guys this house I used to live in when I was a kid, that inspired my whole family's like attachment and love-hate relationship with the Amityville Horror movie and house. And I've just always been like, I just like the Amityville Horror movies. And Ryan Reynolds, I think because he comes off as such a damn nice guy. No matter, like, I don't know him personally, but he seems like such a nice guy. He's always happy. He's always making jokes. And in this movie, he turns psycho. And you believe it, man. He turns dark and cold and disturbed. And everything different than him, and you buy it, man. You buy it. They maybe go overboard a little bit, try to like spruce up the like catch 'em, kill 'em stuff. Like they maybe go too far with that stuff, or maybe just not in the right direction with it. But overall, I really enjoy this movie. I was surprised to see so many people not be interested or say they were disappointed when Scream Factory put it out there. And I mean, I've got a pre-order on it, 4K. I hope it's coming here soon. I actually got a notification they were sending it to me early. Hey, so I'll be happy to get it because I really enjoy this movie. So a lot of people might not be excited that it's coming out. A lot of people might think it's a bad movie. I really enjoy the Amityville Horror remake. And my bonus. My bonus is another remake that I did a whole video about when it was announced that Arrow was releasing this, because this is one of my favorite Friday the 13th movies. And shoot me if you want to, but I am talking about the Friday the 13th, 2009. And Jared Padalecki starring in this. And I mean, I'm a big Padalecki and Jensen Ackles fan because I'm a huge Supernatural fan. But the movie, I think it has everything that you could ask for from an 80s style horror movie. I mean, you kill 8 people and see 4 boobs and a butt before the opening credits. Like, what else could you be looking for from an 80s like slasher Jason movie? Like, come on, that's perfect. You have the biggest just douche canoe of a guy in here, played by Travis Van Winkle, who you just love to hate. Like, if I could change one thing, I would have Padalecki's character beat the teetotal hell out of him in this movie for me. But that tells me what a good job he did playing that part, because to this day it makes me want to take a shot at him. He's that much of a douche. But the movie has some great kills. It has some clever kills. It has all the like gratuitous sex, nudity, fun, college, high school kids romping around, doing what you want to. Padalecki brings some gravitas with it, with serious, like outside of that nature. You know, my one big complaint with this movie is they try to take the supernatural away from Jason by trying to explain all these ways that he could get around and do all these things. And then at the end, they make him supernatural anyway, because he basically comes back from the dead. But, that's my one knock on the movie. But otherwise, a lot of people crap on this movie. They don't like this movie. I love this movie. And here coming soon for my 2 months of Halloween focused stuff with my big list and everything, I'm going to do my ranking of all the Friday the 13th movies. And spoiler alert, this one ain't coming in at the bottom, because I have a lot of fun with this movie. You should too. Order the 4K. No, Arrow doesn't pay me anything, but you owe it to yourself because it's a lot of fun. And that's what I wanted to do here today, is have a lot of fun. No serious videos, no big complaints, no talking about anything, no reviews that piss anybody off. Let's just have some fun today and talk about stuff. And I mean, this is a series that could probably go on, because there's probably a lot of bad or movies out there that people think are bad that I absolutely love. And I'm sure there's a lot of movies that I think are bad that other people love. So I think I've actually done a video on that. But anyway, if you've enjoyed this, we've got a lot of stuff coming up. I just sat here and made a list of over 48 different videos and lists that I am planning to do when I kick off my turn to spooky season on September the 1st. And I have so much content coming out for you guys, almost a video every day for September and October. And I hope you enjoy it. If that sounds like that's something that you're interested in staying around and being a part of, please like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And if you feel so inclined, you can join this mad monster party here by following the link and joining here on YouTube or my Patreon. Couple dollars here or there, and you get even more of my smiling face and content and behind the scenes stuff, and looks at my horror movies and anatomy of a scene, how we film scenes and then see the finished scene, short films I've done, all kinds of stuff, music videos, whatever. I put all the content I can on there, behind the scenes pictures and stuff. I can maybe get a little way with a little bit more of that stuff on Patreon than I can on YouTube. But anyway, you don't have to do any of that to hang around. Just like, subscribe, ring that bell, and become part of the family. Spread the word. And until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye. I know.